Hey, welcome to What's Your Problem? I am Scott Ferrell, your host. Normally on these episodes, I handle your problems because the name of the episodes are What's Your Problem? Today I'm going to handle one of mine because chances are I used to be a high school teacher. If one kid in the class had a problem, chances are 20%, 30%, 40%, in my case it was 80%, had the same problem. So let's go over my problem. Maybe you have the same one. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to solve mine this year. It's that time where everybody makes New Year's resolutions, proclamations, commitments, whatever you want to ask about that. And I'm making mine, right? Except I make commitments that I know I'm going to follow through on. And if I can't, the Holy Spirit helps me with it. Well, this year, one of mine's, as you can see, I'm in sweats and ready to go to the gym, is to be in shape. Now, why would that be anything different than what everybody else does? Well, easy. 2012 was the last time I was able to work out, lift weights, and I'm a guy who was an athlete who's lifted weights most of his life and was in shape. And after that, I had some surgery. The surgery was fine, but I got pneumonia. Ended up being really bad, and then I got really sick. So for about 11 years, I've not been able to go work out and almost died. And it's a long story. They actually made a documentary about it called Healed. And you go to my website if you want to see that, scotferrell.com, 1T in Scott. But what happened? I've learned how to walk. So here's the great thing. I can walk by myself now. I can use these hands now to actually hold a fork. I've learned how to use a pen and actually write again, although my writing was never great to begin with. So I've learned to walk and not fall down all the time, and I've learned how to drive better, and I've learned how to use a fork. Am I where I was pre-sickness? No, not even close. But what got me in gear was the closer I get to 60, which I'm close, I made some decisions. I didn't want to be dependent upon someone else each time I went up 10 years, so 60, 70, 80, 90. We recently took my father-in-law to assisted living. Now, he's doing fine. But I look around, and even though he's great, some of the other folks are not. And I'm like, what do I want my older life to be like? And it's not at a rest home. It's not being able to function. It's being able to be independent, get out of life the most that I can, and close out this life better than I started. Well, I can't do that if I'm not in shape. So what happened while I was sick was I gained, last count, I think I gained 65 pounds. So I went from, actually it was more than that. I went from 215 pre-sickness to about 285. That's a lot of weight. And I realized that ain't going to work. So I'm back down. Right now, if I had to weigh, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow actually to start my whole plan. I probably weigh about 228. So ideally, I feel way better between 205, 210. All right, so I know that I got to lose weight. But what do I really have to do? Well, I got to do what my doctor tells me to do. When people come to me for coaching or advice or as a pastor, I always recommend go see a doctor. Why? We want to know what the biochemistry of your body is doing. I'm a scientist. I like to know what's going on biochemically, and an MD is going to be able to answer those questions for you. And I have a variety of doctors that I see, especially with my colored, physical history. But this year I decided all these boxes are going to get checked for me. I'm tired of not feeling good. It's not just good enough for me anymore to be able to use a fork. It's not good enough for me not to fall down when I stand up. I want to be able to run again. I've not been able to run in 11 years. I want to be able to shoot basketball again. I used to be a high school basketball coach. I have lost the ability to shoot a basketball. I want to be able to throw a baseball, softball. I want to be able to catch a baseball. We are finally up to me being able to, if someone throws a tennis ball to me, and I mean throw, I mean pitch, I can catch it. Now, it's taken me 5 years to be able to do that. Little baby steps, but I'm tired of baby steps. I'm ready to really move on and be able to work out like I used to because I was very strong in the gym, and I want my old life back. Well, that's going to take work on my part, you know. I talk about personal responsibility all the time. Let God do what his job is, and I'm going to do what mine. And mine is going to the doctor, doing what the doctor tells me to do, getting my blood checked, getting all the testing done, eating right for my body type, my style, and my biochemistry, listening to the experts because my buddies in nutrition, whoever it is that I need, I've got at my fingertips. but I go and do what they tell me to do. And then I get my workout under control and I get my body moving because the body was made to move. And I make sure I'm on course for what I wrote down on December 31st. This is what I want. This is where the Holy Spirit's going to come in and help me. This is my job. This is his job. If I do my job, the Holy Spirit will do his. Done. Now, the commitment is already there for the Holy Spirit, but not for me, right? I have to get up every single day and say, this is what I want. I said this is what I wanted. And I have to make the sacrifice of whatever it is to get that done. When I'm coaching people or when I'm meeting with people as a pastor, people come to me and say, this is what I want. And I ask them, are you willing to do what it takes to make this desire happen? And they give me a little, head nod or whatever. I said, no, really. Are you willing to do what it takes to make this happen? Most of the time the answer is no. Are you willing to do the minute by minute, the second by second, the hour by hour, whatever it takes, to make sure what you just told me you wanted is going to be achievable? Because so many people, me sometimes to myself, lie. It's something my church does every single year, is something called liar list, where God be true, man be a liar. So we write out a list of the things we want to accomplish for the year, and we can't accomplish those things without God's help. But where everything goes off the tracks or everything goes wrong is we quit. People quit. God doesn't. So this year, there were only two things on my list, and one was getting in shape and being healthy and going to the doctor, getting all the tests run, getting my biochemistry right, getting every single thing done that I have control over done. I know clearly what my responsibility is. And if I handle my responsibility by probably in the next 3 or 4 months, I'm going to weigh about 205, 210. I'll feel much better. I'll have plenty of energy again. And as I approach 60, I'll be where I want to be. I hear people talking all the time. They'll see somebody at the grocery store or, because I graduated a long time ago. And they'll see friends that they graduated with and they'll go, who's that old guy? Who's that old lady? And they'll go, oh my gosh, they graduated with me or whatever. I don't want people to look at me and see me on social media and go, oh, that poor guy, he looks so bad. Or what happened to him? Why does he look so old? Or, oh my gosh, is he overweight? Or whatever it is. I said, no, I want people to go, man, you're that old? You don't look it. That's more the response I'm going for. And in my business, you get, because, what I do as far as running the camera can be quite superficial. I have to be in shape. Why? Well, I'm teaching people how to be successful. If I'm not successful, why in the world should they believe me? If I'm not in shape, why should they listen to me? If I'm not following my own advice, why should anybody listen to me? Well, they shouldn't. It'd be kind of foolish. So this year, and you can call me on it. If I'm not doing what I say, type in and go, hey, bro, you lied. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. That's fine. Call me on it. But you're not going to get a chance to do that because I'm serious about it. You can see me in my sweats now. And the gym is later. And then I go to the doctor tomorrow and the next day, and we'll have everything done from a biochemical standpoint. So what was it that you wanted to get accomplished this year? What have you been putting off? Are you my age? Are you knocking on the door of 60 and wonder what's the next several years hold for you? Or are you young? I remember what it's like to be 20. It seems like it was forever ago, but sometimes we're talking with a group of friends. I'm talking to my wife, and we go, it seems like it was yesterday. It seems like it was yesterday I was in elementary school. And it's gone by so quickly, and it seems to speed up, and it really does. It seems to speed up the older you get. But even though we get older, the things that we've always wanted to accomplish don't normally just disappear or evaporate. They're still there, but we start to doubt our ability to do it. And so because I've got such a great team around me as far as my medical professionals, my nutrition professionals, most of my friends are in the business or the industry. So I have so many people at my disposal, I have no excuse than to do it right, But I need nutrition help. My buddy Frank Tortorici. Frank's probably one of the top guys in the United States in what he does, nutrition. And then I've got medical doctors, and then I've got this person, and I've got that person, and so I have no excuse. But I really lean on Frank for my nutrition aspects. And then I've got a doctor I've added to the team. We'll have all my blood work back next week. We'll know exactly what we're working with, because when I was really sick, I think the doctor told me I was the sickest person they'd ever seen still alive. Hey, I was number one. I always want to be number one in something. I was number one. Sickest person they'd ever seen. Had the worst looking blood of anybody they've ever seen. And when a buddy of mine tested my mitochondria, I had the mitochondria energy level or output level of someone who was 94 years old. At the time when we did that test, I think I was 55. So again, number one. I was number one in two categories that year. I don't want to be number one in those categories anymore. I want to be number one in the categories I want to be in. All right, so that's my desire. If you heard that go by, I live close to a golf course and we have stuff going by all the time. So just ignore that sound. But I want to know what you want for this year. If you want to email me, that's great. If you need help, that's great. But I want you to know it's achievable. I didn't die. They counted me out. They thought I was going to die. I didn't. Now that I'm on this side of this and I'm resurrecting, so to speak, because a lot of people think I died, I've been out of the limelight for about 8 years. A lot of people really did think I had died. And they couldn't find me, didn't know what had happened to me. My ratings on Google, everywhere else, almost just had been whitewashed and I disappeared. And it's not until this year, I had not even been taking clients. That took a little, but it was only word of mouth. It was until this year. So I've been out for about 8 years, almost 9. And now I'm ready to resurrect not only my career, but my body and get back in shape and get back in the swing of things. Because I want the last half of my life to be better than the beginning. And I would like to think that you do too. So if you're middle-aged, don't give up, man. Just make new goals, make new dreams. You know, I sound like a motivational speaker. I don't want to. But I'm just telling you what I've had to do. I've had to sit back and go, what do I really want? Because I ask all my clients that, what do you want? Well, I said, I don't want to be fat and I don't want to be out of shape. Okay, cool. Now, what do I want? Well, I want to be in shape and I want to weigh this and I want to be able to do the following things. And we're planning a trip to Europe and I want to be able to do and walk around. And you know, when you go to Europe, you do a lot of walking up and down. It's never flat. And I want to be able to do that and have a good time for multiple weeks without being tired. And that's my scope of physical things for the year. So why did I do this today? Normally I take questions and I answer questions, et cetera, et cetera. But today, you know, it's sometimes we the people that do teach, you need to know what our struggles are. You need to know what we're going through because chances are, if I answer a question on this series, it's something I faced personally. Unless it's got something to do with female anatomy or being a woman. Outside of that, I think I've handled most things. So just like you, self-doubt, wondering what's going to happen, don't really know what I want, not sure what the future holds. All these things I've had to face personally. I can't get on this channel and talk about them if I haven't faced them and or overcome them because I'm not much of a so-called expert if I do that. But if you have any questions, you can email me. ScotFerrell.com is how you reach me. Let me spell it. My mom and dad decided to make me unique and spell my name differently. ScotFerrell.com. You know, if you first time you've ever seen me, that's great. I've been gone so long, most people have forgotten me anyway. That's comical. When people still remember me, I just start laughing. I'm like, you really remember who I am? Yeah, man. I used to listen to your radio show or whatever. At least not everybody thinks I'm dead. But if you need to reach me, that's great. I am starting to take clients now. I'm back up after 8 years. I finally feel good enough to take a few. I'm not taking a full schedule, but I am taking a few, and I'm gonna start back slowly. I'm starting back my workout slowly. I'm walking now. I'm getting out in nature. I'm going to the gym very slowly, under my doctor's care and my wife's very watchful eye. I know one thing I'm not getting this year is a motorcycle. That's been vetoed multiple times. So she said she waited so long to make sure I was not going to die. She's not going to give me a chance to do something really stupid and get myself killed. So Harley Davidson, I'm sorry. I will not be coming to see you anytime soon. A friend of mine texted me last night. He just got a brand new bike, wants me to get a brand new bike so we can go ride. And my wife is like, that's not going to happen. You can ride the stationary bike at the gym. But outside of my wife getting on me about these things, and it's going to be a great year. I want you to have a great year. And if I can be of any service to you, let me know. ScotFerrell.com. But I just want to do this to give somebody a chance to go, hey, if that dude can do it, maybe I can. He almost died, so I don't have any excuse. He's just learned how to walk. I need to get out and walk. He can finally use a fork. I don't have to eat Moroccan food now, and everywhere I go, eat with my hands. But I wanted to somewhat give you a chance to see that I am human. So many people accuse me of not being human. But I am human. I do have problems, just like you do. I just have to develop strategies to overcome them and implement them on a daily basis to make sure I can get where I want to be. All right, so stay tuned for more episodes. I will start taking questions again. That's how I do everything. I've got 2 new books coming out this year. I'm not going to tell you the titles yet. I'd like to see one drop first, maybe second quarter of the year, and another one drop third or fourth quarter. Takes a lot. I have dyslexia, so writing books for me can be a challenge. But I need to get this done. If I'm going to come back, I need to come back. It was funny when I checked out last time. I checked out. I had a bestseller. I had just gotten a bestseller, and I disappeared for 6 months, and my publisher could not find me. And he said, I'm the only author to this date who got a bestseller and disappeared. I was sick. And I didn't really know how to tell him how sick I was. And since I've told him, and he wanted to know when I wanted to be resurrected. And I think the time is now. Publishers can be like that, but my publisher is amazing. He's got quite a story like I do. But we'll get that out there. I'll drop more information for you when I have it. But look, first quarter, second, and then third, fourth quarter, and I'll drop those books out there. But thank you so much for tuning in. This may be one of the only times you hear me talk about me, because the show is What's Your Problem, not what's wrong with me. And my goal is to make sure I give you answers to what's going on in your life. Again, if you want, you can go by my website, scotferrell.com. That's 1 T in Scott. And if you have any thoughts, drop them for me. If not, just look for videos dropping from time to time. And you can look me up on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You know the score. Social media in general. But I'll take off right now. But I hope you have a great day. And I look forward to spending this coming year with you. Take care.